evening, everyone. Thank you so much, John, for the introduction. I feel truly honored to be here celebrating our culture and our community. For too long, the experiences and contributions of Latinos in Alaska have been overlooked or narrated by outsiders. While there have certainly been projects highlighting specific aspects of our community, there has not been a comprehensive effort to gather our stories in one place before. As a result, some of us may have felt invisible at times, as if our story were not important enough to be told, or as if we did not have a history of our own to share. In the early 1980s, a remarkable anthropologist named Eric Wolf explained that communities growing on the margins of mainstream societies are often perceived as lacking a history of their own, and they are viewed instead as unwanted shadows that people exploit and overlook at their convenience. But as Wolf argued, no group is without a history. Everyone's lives are deeply interconnected with global events and local transformations, and Alaska's Latino community is no exception. This exhibit is part of our effort to ensure that our history is recognized as part of the rich, complex fabric of Alaska's history. Lina Mariscal had envisioned this exhibit for a long time. When she called me and asked me to develop the historical section, I not only felt deeply honored, but also knew that I had an enormous responsibility on my shoulders, conveying a fair representation of our past in management. To gather the historical context for this exhibit, I interviewed 23 individuals who have been active members of the Latino community in Alaska for a long time and asked them to share significant pictures from their photo albums with me. While we know that our community has many more people who have contributed greatly, we had to limit the number of interviews in the interest of time. That said, we intentionally chose individuals who made significant contributions to the community and represent diverse walks of life. This allowed us to capture the different facets of our community, reflecting its richness and variety in experiences, occupations, and backgrounds. It's important to remember that when we rely on personal memories, details can sometimes be incomplete or forgotten over time. This is natural to all of us. To ensure that the information we gather was accurate and reliable, we confirmed each detail by cross-referencing it with a second source, whether through archival research or checking with other participants. By doing this, we made sure that the history we're presenting is as thorough and accurate as possible. Conducting the interviews was quite a journey. As I heard many hidden stories from individuals who arrived in Alaska in the 1970s and 1980s, where resources for Latinos were really scarce, my admiration from them grew exponentially. These early members of the community faced numerous challenges and yet managed to build a foundation of our community with love, solidarity, and hard work. And the story began to unfold before my eyes. The history of Latinos in Alaska, the footprint we have left in the state, as Lina likes to call it, goes way back. We have been Latinizing this beautiful land for about 150 years, enriching it with our traditions, language, and shared experiences. Latinos have left a footprint in Alaska across many fields, but for this exhibit, we decided to focus on 4 key areas: family and migration, the economy, community, and spirituality. In the family section, we aim to convey how we build our families in connection with our migratory journeys. Latinos have many ways of forming family connections in Alaska. Some families arrive all at once, while others come in staggered intervals, and still others create family networks right here in Alaska. In that section, you will find stories of different types of family that hopefully capture this complexity. Latino Alaskan families remind us that our family is truly where our heart is. Our transnational families demonstrate how the concept of family transcends all borders, illustrating that the geography of love is much larger than countries and does not require passports. When listening to the stories that captured our contributions to the economy, I was in awe for the hard work and dedications of Latino Alaskans. Today, Latinos own nearly 3,000 companies in Alaska and employ thousands of workers, contributing millions of dollars to the local economy. The numbers are striking indeed, but our story goes way beyond numbers. I hear stories of Latinos who arrive in this land not knowing any English and paid their way up through hard work. Some may have walked through the snow to get to work because they didn't have time, slept at the Fairbanks airport when they had no home, or worked longer shifts just to stay inside and warm. There were accounts of Latinas helping each other, working in solidarity, while weaving the first threads of our community and belonging. I heard stories of discrimination, sure, but I also heard stories of resilience and sheer determination. All I can say, as a more recent immigrant, is thank you for not giving up. Your hard work opened the doors for new generations of Latinos in the state. When working on this section, I also heard stories of how we painted Alaska with a Latino palette, opening Latino stores, restaurants, barbershops, construction companies, daycares, taxi companies, and a long list of businesses. In a world where people often work in pointless jobs and can't wait to finish their shifts every day, we Latinos have built an economic project where work has purpose, creates values, provides satisfaction, and fosters engagement. We find meaning and joy in hard work. That is who we are as Latinos. The community section of this exhibit could include 100 pictures more. It reminds us how we Latinos have wanted to build an Alaska where we feel at home since the very early days of our community. And how have we done that? By speaking Spanish, listening to music, dancing, and celebrating our culture at every opportunity. Home is where we can be who we truly are, openly and proudly. Our Latino family and community celebrations, newspapers, radio and TV shows, and sports tournaments all serve as vital expressions of our identity. They not only strengthen our bonds, but also showcase the richness of our culture. By sharing all those things that have meaning to us, we help outsiders become aware of the beauty of our traditions, fostering a welcoming environment where they can learn to love our culture, while our community members develop a sense of belonging and connection to the circumpolar roof. The final section is devoted to our connection with that which is bigger than us. Not all Latinos engage in religious or spiritual practices, but those who do have left a significant mark on the state's faith communities. Since the very early age of our community, many Latinos have congregated around churches, making them beacons of culture and connection. Our participation in local churches reflect how we, as Alaskans Latinos, are not passive recipients of beliefs. We make them our own, giving them a unique Latino Alaskan shape. Testament to this are the Pentecostal services where believers pray while singing to Latin American rhythms accompanied by tambourines, whirls, and drums, as well as the vibrant Catholic celebrations of Our Lord of the Miracles and Our Lady of Guadalupe, organized by the Peruvian and Mexican communities. All these practices demonstrate the power of rituals in nurturing our inner selves, reconnecting us with our homelands and reminding us that our sense of purpose and meaning is deeply woven into our identity. Spiritual celebrations typically occur in collective settings, serving as reminders of how we, as a community, are greater than just the sum of us as individuals. When we come together with a shared purpose, we gain agency and the possibility of touching our innermost fibers, transforming ourselves and our fellow community members. To wrap up, I would just like to thank all the people who made this possible, especially Lina for dreaming the dream and entrusting me with this piece. To John Ryan and Enlaces, to Ron Nicole, Rafael de la Uz, and Ana Fernandez for their beautiful photographs that capture the vitality of our community. To the participants who generously shared their stories, photos, and experiences. To Ryan Kenny and Francesca Brock, and all the Amherst Museum personnel who worked so hard to ensure the success of this project. To our sponsors for making this initiative a reality. Of course, to itself for living the adventure with me, and to everyone who supported this project along the way. Thanks to you all today, we Latinos in Alaska affirm a rich history and the strength that comes from sharing our stories in our own voices. It is through these narratives that we not only honor our past, but also inspire future generations to thrive in this beautiful land we now call home. Thank you, everyone. So,